You serious, YouTube? I swear I unmuted. I must have pressed the wrong thing. What a day, what a start. Not butchered this start to the stream more than what I've done. So YouTube, basically 4-hour range, it's a choppy range. We're a mess on gold. Let me quickly just go over it again. So based off that, the bias is technically bearish with daily candle, weekly, previous weekly candle, 4-hour structure. You got the 15-minute being bullish off the back of that. I would consider bias from the support, but I would preference it coming back down to the 4-hour level because it's just still a pretty choppy mess, to be honest. What I would also look for is potential sells below the previous daily candle's low. Just drag the zone up, and then if we do head down towards the previous daily low, I will be dragging the zone down a little bit. So we can just put sells below that point there. But as you guys know, I'll likely want to see closure below some sort. And otherwise, what I'd be looking for is I've marked this level in, reason being because that's the only point where I see within the current range, if we were to just pull back up, where we may have a buy option, enough margin to look for a buy up to the 4-hour level, basically. So buys above that point there would be something I would consider. But also because we've tapped into resistance, we're triggering sellers, we would wipe those sellers out, close above or back above the Asian session highs as well. So at that stage, I'd be comfortable looking for a potential buy option if it was to present. Otherwise, do pop back up, only to reject. Then once again, I'm just going to trade the resistance form within the daily candle. And again, if we do respect resistance, there's a high probability we will head back down to the support. So off the back of that, I would also consider my options to take a sell, and I do apologize for being on mute on YouTube. I've also on mute on TikTok. No. Yeah, apologies guys, completely butchered the start of that. But nonetheless, that's the general plan on gold. We'll just remove this zone for the time being so we are a distance away from it. So we're just range bound at the minute. Some of you might be in sells from the resistance. There's a little IC play just here, which price is respecting. Maybe some of my members have noticed that. So that's moving really well. If anyone did take a trade based off that, and that is the gold. So we'll move on to the GJ. Now, quickly want to have a look at EA as well, guys, and then we can say good day to the chat, and I'll let my members in on the call. So looking at GJ, and we're looking at the weekly to begin. What we can see is previous, once again, strong bullish, but we do respect resistance here to the left. Current weekly candle is pulling back. It's respecting the high of that previous weekly candle. So pretty much tapped into it, but only to reject. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. Thank you for the sub nonetheless. On to the daily. Previous daily closed weak bullish. So what that suggests to me, guys, is that likely we've just grabbed some liquidity from the upside, and if we were to break the low, there'd be a higher probability of price making a deeper pullback, which is currently what we're trying to do. We're popping back below some resistance here to the left. We still are at another level low here to the left. So again, I spoke about this yesterday, around that 199.50 is a pretty key level here on GJ that we want to see price continue to close above on the higher time frame picture. So now, though, with the current probabilities being bearish, I do believe there's a higher chance of this daily closing back bearish below that 199.50. So off the back of that, will there be some sell options? The 4-hour, similar to gold, it's a bit of a mess, to be honest, on the 4-hour. We do, however, have, just let me look at it, I don't want to butcher this as well. I'd argue it's not a higher high. I don't think it's close to above that point. We do have a swing just here. It's respected it. Wow. So it's technically bullish. So bullish, so long as I'm not considering that a structure flip, because we failed to create the higher high to confirm it. We failed to close above highest point of this impulse to the upside. And technically, it just depends on your broker. That could be a bearish candle. So I'm looking for 2 consecutive candles pulling back in the opposite direction to the trend to consider it to be a swing. It does, however, resemble a swing. So I would consider it that to be the level at this point where the structure would flip back bearish. So we have identified we are in fact bullish here on the 4-hour time frame. So we're strong bullish still on the weekly, bearish now on the daily with that previous, the current daily breaking the low of that previous week bullish candle low. We've got some more 4-hour support just there as well. We'll add it in on the 30-minute time frame. And all right, so we're approaching or we've actually not quite closed below support. Let me just quickly look at it again. So it is a 4-hour candle wick, so I would need to incorporate the lowest point as the support. And we can see we've closed deep into the support, left no lower wick. All right, up one off the back of that. It's going to mark in this level as a resistance as well. And what we can see structurally here on the M30 is to be, it's bearish. Yeah, it's confirmed structure flip. Not long ago, actually. Just yeah, it's bearish. And it will remain bearish at this point, really, until as long as we remain below this point here. But I still would not consider buying it, because buying into this wick, which is, in my opinion, pretty, and push price back down. So what I'd be looking for on GJ here today is, at this rate, closures below this low. So long as you do have the margin, though, that's the thing. You don't have a great deal of margin below that point to the next level of support. But if price was to begin to close below, may consider it on the 15-minute time frame. Then that would be a good opportunity to me, in my opinion. Reason being is the daily would form support at this level. So if we were to now wipe out those buyers, close below it, I feel there's a high probability that price will come back down to the next level. But again, not a great deal of margins, about 15 plus pips there. Aside from that, what I'd be looking at in GJ is simply price to pull back. Look for rejection of 199.60. Now with the bias neutral, I mean, you could look for a buy. I would preference the buy from lower down, to be honest. I'll probably be marking that level in, and don't feel we're going to have really, if we start popping back above this support, likely not going for margin as well at this point here. So what I'd really like to see, let's just say if it melts, is price form a little bit of structure at the support down at 199.10, and then look for a potential opportunity to take a buy back up if that is to be the case. Not looking good though, to be honest, GJ, and I will not be trading it. 90+% sure I won't be trading it. And finally, EA. You're gonna have to start having a look at this pair. I used to love trading this pair. It used to be my whipping boy back in the day, until it started not playing ball. Still until it started consolidating like crazy. All right, so on weekly, we can see a strong bullish candle, bullish engulfing that previous weekly candle. Current candle opening the gap to the upside. Does have a high low, higher high to the previous. This is marking the high of the current candle, which is obviously previous daily candle's low. Previous candle closed bearish, but respecting some resistance here to the left, and we are forming a pretty strong bullish candle within the current daily. Let's go now into the 4-hour time frame here. And that, in my opinion, is still technically bullish. I'm going to mark in some levels of support. Mark in this point here. I'm going to mark in this level here. I'm going to mark in resistance at these highs. What have we got above it? Is we do have a bit of margin here on the 4-hour for some potential buy options if it does begin to break above the current weekly candle's high onto the 30. And that is bullish. All right, so on EA, having said that, so we've got 4-hour M30 as bullish, we've got the weekly as bullish. So the bias is technically bullish. What I'd be looking for is for price to sweep some liquidity around the Asian session lows and pop back above the support here at 179.50. If that was to be the case and I had the right signal in price action, and so long as it made a relatively clean move down, so we have some clean candles to play back within the pullback, then I would consider a potential buy from back at the support around that 179.50. Above that sort of level there be a potential level I'd like to get involved in sells. Sells potentially below that support, but it would be counter trend still. So in this sort of situation, you are best to wait for it to actually just make the move down if it was to pop below, and then look for a potential buy off the back of that. Further buy option is going to be above the high. Is clean by the looks of things, so closures above, triggering sellers at resistance. We begin to wipe those sellers out. I suggest that we perhaps grab the necessary liquidity from the downside in order to make the move in line with the trend and structure and the buy. So that is what I'd be looking at on EA. Again, my main focus is the gold, guys, but nonetheless, we will keep a bit of an eye on EA, GJ, and any other pair as per request. Sometimes you wish you could restart the stream, don't you? It's just a shocking start, guys. But anyway, welcome one and all. Yeah, apologies, YouTube. I probably lost like half the viewers because sound was off, but all good. Who we got? Why is my thing not scrolling? Great. All happening. It's the Bill Laurie, the cricket commentator, used to say. Tony Gold, g'day to you. Nev, hello to you. Triple Chisholm, welcome. Franco, morning, brother. Sebastian, hope you're doing well, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Guy Lai. Yeah, apologies. Rastafari, hope you're well, brother. Oh man, appreciate it, even though the mic was off, that you still reminding people to give the stream a live. Nev, oh mate. Always say it's gonna be the last time, but I still do it. At least it wasn't a recording. They're the most frustrating when you're doing a recording and then you forget to bloody unmute yourself. Tax network. You slap your board, everyone even hear it. It's muted. Apologies, mate. Rastafari sells below 33.50, 33.35, 145 valid. 33.35, 145, something here. This support potentially. But the thing is, at that point, you're selling it, so you're trading it within a 30 minor time frame resistance, being a 15 and 30, and the 4-hour support. You're at that point, you're in the bottom portion, towards the bottom third of the actual range itself. So not ideal, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see how price approaches that level. We'll see what sort of confirmations we do get and what time that happens, and maybe we might have an entry off the back of that. Jose, g'day to you. Tony Gold, GU and AU, I will do so shortly. Loud morning to you. Rastafari, appreciate it, mate. All right, so TikTok, I'll quickly say hello to you guys. Keys, thank you for the sticker as well. I do appreciate it. Let me see what, if anything, if I've missed anything in the chat before I have a look at GU and AU. Thank you to a couple of new followers. Don't be shy, guys, to say good day, ask questions. So, ordinary start to the week. Yesterday wasn't the best trade, and obviously well managed though. Just managed to reduce the risk by half in the end. And really want to see gold at 33.21. Okay, a bit of work for it to do to get there, but it could. Heaven, thank you for sharing the live. Do appreciate it. What else? Yeah, I think it's a triple top. Price will drop. Yeah, essentially, I'm seeing it more of a double top, but I see what you mean. Green Eyes, thank you for sharing the stream. Telly B Becker, London is open, right? Not yet. Not technically not. The currency market opens in 48 minutes, 47 minutes. EU has just recently opened. That's It's going to hit 33.40, I think. Wait and see. It is starting to form some higher lows here within the structure itself, so it is trying to continue to the upside. The 15-minute structure is technically bullish, so there is a chance it could continue up. Also, a chance it could continue down, so that doesn't really help anyone. But we're waiting for confirmations at the levels we've just, well, the levels I'm waiting for anyway, are predetermined to be tradable levels. You check GU. Yep, so I've been asked twice now for GU and AU. I'll check those in a minute. The higher end, did you remember yesterday? Told you about indecision counter close. I remember something, but anyway. And once again, thank you to the new followers. All right, GU and AU. Let's quickly look at GU and AU. We'll start with GU. Does appear to be in a bit of a down trend at the minute. It's fantastic to see my Aussie dollar dying as per usual. When I'm overseas, shittest currency rate I've ever had. Comes to Thailand, it's terrible at the minute. EU. So the previous weekly was pretty strong bullish, but we are pulling back quite significantly into that. Let's see why that might be the case. Looking at daily was at resistance and rejecting, and that is absolutely beautiful price action. Got a weakish bullish close. You've got multiple wicks into the resistance, only to reject. Previous daily was bearish engulfing up the back of that. I do believe now that with the daily creating that lower low, lower high, there'd be a high probability of it continuing bearish. But what we're going to do is mark in both the high and low. If we were to continue bearish, there isn't necessarily much of a need for us to pull back up and break our own high, seeing the probabilities are to the downside. 4 hour structurally does remain bullish, just we are at the last significant high low here. So it's a key area and we are respecting it. We've recently formed support at that point there, at the daily low. So until we close below, we're technically, I would say we're still bullish here on the 4 hour. Got resistance just here, so it's a very narrow range. Obviously we've got resistance higher up, but let's just focus on the most recent levels. Actually, that's technically a 30. This closed bearish, and I can mark in the resistance. I would change it. We'll remove it and we'll have a look on a 30, what we've got. Let's just put that line back in for the daily. All right, so the 30 is also, well, 30 is bearish. So we've got the weekly as, well, previous was bullish. Got daily, counter probability is bearish. I would argue the bias is technically bearish here on GU. I'll be marking that level in again, changing it to blue for the time being. What I would do also is just adjust this zone, probably to that point there. Below that point, you got some pretty clean traffic to the left. All right, is there any margin whatsoever to sell GU? Not really, to be honest. GU, again, whilst we're right in the middle of this range, exact same as gold, you're in the middle of a range between the minor time frame resistance and the 4 hour support. I would just simply wait for it to pop back down lower. Preference it to tap into from 134.90, 134.850, that sort of region, form support above it, and then look for a buy. Otherwise, wait for it to pop back up again, reject, to look for a potential sell. It's tough when you're right in the middle. There just isn't really in the margin to take a sell because you range straight to 15-minute support here. And below that point there, you got like 6-7 pips or something. So it's just, there is no margin, in my opinion. So I just simply play the range, wait for it to pop up, attack the Asian session high or low, and pop back either above it. So if it breaks the high, pops back below it, if you're looking for a sell, breaks the low, pop back above it for a potential buy. And further options possibly below support here, which is distance off at the minute, 134.812 to be exact, is where I would also consider some sells now onto AU. I'm assuming it's very similar to GU at the moment. Let's just take a look at it on the higher time frame to begin. Yeah, so the weekly, fortunately, counter probability has been to the downside. However, it is not that far away from previous support here. You've only got about 13 pips or so until that level. So it's very choppy and just a big mess on a higher time frame picture. Daily, bearish with the counter probabilities here. Once again, not a great deal of margin. You got about 15 pips to that support here on the daily as well. 4 hour is bullish, it's now bearish. These levels are rank. These levels are really, really ugly, to be honest. I'll be marking that in as the most recent support. Another support not that far below it. As far as resistance, I'll be marking that. We have confirmed resistance after support. Marking that level just there, and let's have a look at 30. That is also bearish. So, right, what I would say is, as long as we remain below the Asian session lows, I would prefer to sell it. We, however, pop above it. At that point there, we'd have a confirmation of a structure flip in the minor time frame, bouncing off 4 hour support. That will be enough for me to look for a potential buy, and you actually do have some pretty clean traffic to the left-hand side as well. Take it back up if that used to be the case. Otherwise, it's tricky to the downside. There is no margin. It's just fact, there is no margin. Side preference of pullback. To be honest, I just removed that zone. And this is what I'd be playing within. I preference a pullback to that level to look for rejection to sell it, or to pop above it for a potential buy. Prior to any buys above, what I would prefer to see is sellers step in and for price to wipe out those sellers. And at that point there, I'd be more inclined to look for a buy. So something like this, attack the highs, pop below, pop back below the Asian session high, only to close back above it. And that would be your play, in my opinion, to the upside. That is AU and GU. Think of that what you will. I'm not sure what the record is for this month. Obviously, missed best part of last week. Have to check it out. I think we had 6 wins in a row prior to yesterday's loss on stream, 6 or 7 wins. But it's all good. You're allowed to take losses in trading. It's normal. Sketchmas, good day to you. Hope you are well. Thank you for joining my team. Before I forget again, let me send you guys a link. Gold's trying to come in. All right. That link for you guys. Hey, you want a little bit. Little pint-sized dog. Very cute though. You'll probably see him over my shoulder now. He's on the couch. All right. Giddy talk. Let me get back to you guys. Zarada, hello to you. Arafin, all good, brother. Hope you're well. Ginevra, morning. How do you see gold? So gold, better look for sales as long as you remain below the resistance at 33, 41 to 44. But it's still very tricky here, to be honest. There is just no momentum in any direction. It's one big old mess. The high time frame picture, which is very tricky to trade. Even 4 hours, very messy. The weekly is just terrible at the moment. So you need to be careful. And like I mentioned before, I would preference price to either pop back up to resistance for sells or pop back down to support for buys at this rate. So still a way off any potential entry. We'll wait around and see if something does eventuate. Just Vivek, good day to you. Well. Vlad, you don't like it? You don't need to be here, my friend. No one's forced you to be here. To Alpha Guy, please follow. Goodbye to you. No one comes on again, guys. You know the deal. You don't come on here asking for followers, whatever. You just get banned straight away. No ifs, buts, or maybes. Actually, sometimes there's a you consider it, but when it's that obvious, I don't. RP not going to trade today. Market's horrible. Got some pips a couple hours ago. Nice one. So that, yeah, I'm happy to hear it, mate. Because that's showing you some discipline. That's showing that you've started to learn that you don't always need to be involved. Already had a good day. Call it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Last thing you want to do is give it all back. Vic, all good, mate. Let's hope gold flies today. Yeah, I mean, I just like for it to make some clean moves and see what direction and look for a potential entry. Uzi, thanks for GU and EU analysis, much appreciated. It was AU, but EU likely going to be the exact same. Yeah, it does look very similar, EU. So they're all in a bit of a downward trend at the minute. EU looks a little bit, actually not to the downside. Very tricky again. It's a slow trickle down. There is no real momentum, so it's more level trading at the minute. Like I mentioned, I just wait for it to pop up to the Asian session resistance like it previously did. Look for rejection for a potential sell. Don't see much above it because it's very choppy to the left. The outperforming support, yeah, prematurely market in, could still flip back bearish, but it's likely on 15 you got support. So that potentially could become your entry point to the downside. Bear in mind there is again very little margin to the downside. How are you doing? Wish you guys could see that. Is a character. Yeah, so to be honest, most of the majors, most of the pairs look shit. Not gonna lie. I won't be forcing anything because we saw what happened yesterday when I still hadn't planned, but it wasn't my usual type of entry. It definitely wasn't. Ethan, is it best to buy with large amounts of money? Does it depend? Well, this is trading, mate. So if you're talking about physical, you don't have a choice, do you? Because if you want to buy 1 ounce of gold, you got to pay it depending where you're from. $3,300, more than $3,300 US dollars. And if you're asking about that, yes, it is best to buy it by the ounce. Stop. What are you doing? It would be best to buy by the ounce because you're paying less premium. So if you're buying by the quarter or buying tenth or whatever it is, you pay more of a premium. So you're not paying for this for 1 ounce where you pay 3,300 whatever just now. You end up paying closer to, if you buy it by a tenth or whatever, probably end up paying about almost 5k. Oh yeah, England, man. There he is. Hello. Is it raining? Is it raining?
Hello, brother. How are you?
Oh, good, man. How are you?
Good.
That's it. Char's looking pretty crap again.
Yeah, I took a downtrend, to be honest. I've been open, I know, just a bit of an impulse sell. On GC it was pretty long, and I know, I looked too much in 5 minutes. I think it was
pretty EU, you mean?
yeah, like I will mark it where it was. If you go on a 30-minute time frame.
Yep.
Yeah, it was here. And it shows right there. I look at.
Alright.
I look too much on 5 minute. So the 5 minute breaking structure no support. I think.
To be honest, it feels a little bit forced.
Yeah. I got a bit caught up, I think. On the 5 minute.
Because even the 15 just looks like there's no volume in all that.
Oh, And also like your form like this with structure right here, right?
Yep. Yeah, I personally don't like it.
Yeah.
But getting some another lesson learned. It's just a tough, very tough area. It's a really tough area. I mean, spot gold's the same. I don't really see any clean areas at all to the downside unless it pops up and rejects again.
Which takes out now if it crosses below support on the 50 minute.
I don't like it, in honesty. I very much doubt it because it's not clean. I mean, you've got maybe one clean candle just there. So let's just quickly measure that.
Okay, great.
13 pips or something.
Yeah.
I think it's a tricky area. I got caught out yesterday trying to get involved in a crap level. Yeah. So I'm just going to wait for my levels. I'm going to wait for it to pop up to here or down here. Yeah.
I really do also take like in consideration this area. If this was more cleaner.
Oh, if it was more cleaner, I would consider it. But to be honest, even once you pass the support you just mentioned, the earliest, where we currently form support, you don't really have the margin.
No, that's true.
So if it was a clean candle from my gray zone, a clean bullish candle, yes, I would consider it. But it's a mess.
Yeah, I agree. I would have been caught up to be honest, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. It happens, mate.
Yeah.
We move on.
Right.
And what is with TikTok? Amal, piss off. There's another one. You tell me. Sorry?
Is it too many trolls on TikTok? People on TikTok.
Oh no, just coming on, promoting their own group.
Yeah,
Never lose. They never ever lose. These guys, not once. Just send them one ETH, and you'll have 10 in a month's time, guaranteed. No losses.
Yeah.
Bugger off, honestly.
Hey, good morning, guys.
How's it going, brother?
Hey, I'm good, and you?
All good. All good. Just yeah, shit started a stream with the mic being on mute, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've seen it yet.
It happens.
Yeah. So markets are very looking shitty, to be honest.
Again, the London session, I can't wait, to be honest, for next month. Because it should start to, it's more likely you're going to start to get more volume creeping in. It's just, there's nothing. It's been, and yesterday I got caught out and trying to, make something out of nothing.
So yeah, I've seen you have made the analysis also for Geo. So I think, yeah, I need to wait until really, because we are in the middle of this range. So you need to be patient right now. And then you need to look how the candles are closing and so on. So
yeah, it's not a big range as well.
Yeah.
So in this situation, I preference it coming to either end of it and then look for opportunities.
Makes absolute sense.
Don't inbox them, Mal. Guys, whatever you do, don't be daft. Alright, you want down? Okay. You'll lock him out. Borna, GJ Wayne rejects from 199014 for long. Anybody want anything? This supply, I think it's a good level. I've got it there as well as a potential level to look for a buy. How are you going? Oh. in the ass. Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid level. Alright. Yeah. Alex, can I please check DAX? Hold on, let me just let me catch up with the chat and then I'll have a look for you. It is what it is. What are your usual strategies for gold? Don't listen to a Mal, whatever you do. My strategy, it's all price action, whether it be gold, GJ, NAS, DAX, whatever it is. It's all price action at levels I want to get involved in the trade. So we're currently at right in the middle of a crappy area. So irrespective of price action, there is no entry point for me because we're right in the middle. I want it to be at resistance, potentially sell it, or back at support to potentially buy it. I'm not going to get involved in between. Yesterday I tried to do so and got wrecked. Normally I wouldn't even bother trying. Normally I just wait for my levels to be met. So that's what I'm looking for. A price action signal at either level. No signals, I mean, you'll just stick around, you see what I mean. Those who watch on regular starting to pick up on some of those price action signals. Arafin, sounds like we've been great. It's raining again, to be honest. Oh, you're talking about just being sarcastic. VIX, no idea. I don't know what it is, to be honest. I don't trade crypto. It's not a crypto stream. Max, whom are you talking about that level? Who's this? I'm saying the guys that come onto the stream saying you want to win in trading DME, come join my signal group or whatever, all that crap. DAX, let's have a look at DAX. All right, weekly. Yeah, this is another one. It's at a key level. It's a very strong level. It's an all-time high resistance level. Close back, leaving a long wick in either direction. Close back, weak bullish. Current candle open for gap to the downside. Again, respecting resistance here to the left. The back of that. It's a tough one because it's similar to gold now. There is no momentum on it. These candles are quite small at the minute. We have tapped into some resistance. Little IC candle here and bouncing off it. I think I mentioned that yesterday. So as long as we remain above that point, I do believe there's a good chance we could come back up. But the issue is you're right at resistance again, so it could easily reject. It's not helping much, I know, but it's just what I'm seeing. I don't see on those time frames anything clean whatsoever. The 4 hour, some resistance here. It's bullish in structure. So we've got weekly bullish, but 4 hour bullish. Does look pretty good above that resistance, which is lines up with the daily high. So let's just mark in the daily high. Now let's make our way down to the 15, sorry. So 15. Could call that a swing, but technically it's here. You could argue that 15 is bullish as well, but buying it into resistance are probably not great. I'd rather look for options to sell and rather wait for price to come up to 24.37. Again, attack the Asian session highs, perhaps break only to close back below it for a potential sell option. And otherwise, I'd be looking for the lows as well, the Asian session, so the daily lows, and see how price reacts to that particular level. If it was to pop back above the support after approaching it, that's where I'd be looking for an option to buy it and potential sell below it. So if we do, once again, break the lows of the Asian session and start to pop below support, retest it and begin to pull away from it, that in my opinion would be a potential option and take a sell off the back of that. But it is a crazy high volume pair, especially around this time of day, especially at London Open. So just need to be very, very careful with it. I wanted to pick it up, but to be honest, I'm always watching gold this time of day, so it's a bit tough when you not focused on it. Bono yesterday got destroyed by news. Was there news about yesterday? I didn't think there was. Max makes sense in regards to people who never lose. Once again, thank you to the new followers. Lazino, are you bullish on EU? No, my bias is technically bearish on it. So I would preference the sells, and if you were to buy it, you're buying it into resistance. So it's one big choppy level. If it was to continue bullish, then what I prefer to see is cut through all that, nice clean move, pull back, from support. That's when I start to consider it. Otherwise, I just look for rejection sells before me. You're at resistance, it popped up, it needs to pop back below it. The options. Nev will join when you get home. No worries. Rastafari. Never take sells in the last 3. Bottom third. I wouldn't say never. If it's clean and you got margin, I would consider it. But this isn't. This is a mess. It's a right bulb mess on gold. To me, it's just consolidating. Yes, it's pushed up, but it's now back into the middle of the consolidation. So if it's clean candles, like I mentioned before, when I was discussing with Archer, if it was clean candles, I would, but it's not. The hourly looks disgusting as well. There is just, it's at such a crappy level. Tony Gold, appreciate it. All good, mate. Therefore, you will diddled in the middle. Very, very wicked. Like, yeah, I know. Yesterday, that was shit house, wasn't it? AJ needs to go to the stock market when he gets there. Tell him to get back to, yeah, I know. When he gets back to UK. More into your guess. Good guys, don't forget to smash that like button as well, please. YouTube, TikTok, you guys can hit that screen for me. Shadow 888, just rubbish. Trading GJ, very good. What, gold rubbish? It has been, but what about when those times on GJ are rubbish? So then it's just, this is all trading. It's what it's about. You can have these times in the markets when they're absolute crap. It usually goes through cycles. You have the Asian session moving nicely, nice clean for quite a while, then we'll revert to London, and you always get some sort of movement in NY because there's often news about. It's all part of it. You just got to realize that and not force anything. Official Black, thank you for the sticker. This dog can't make up its mind. Noodle on my doodle. Interesting name. Bearish for gold. As long as you remain below this resistance, but again, it doesn't mean I'm just going to sell it because there's a choppy mess. In my opinion, because the 15 is technically bullish the way I see it, so it could respect this when we end up back at the resistance. So I'm not going to get caught out in any sells below. Bonner, Trump's in the, oh, okay. Yep. NW, bullish or bearish. In the middle here, nothing. Want to either back at support for potential buys or at resistance for sells. Buys above the resistance, sells below the previous daily low. far off it. Use, bro, you're a scammer. Scammed my grandma 2 months ago. Give me a mate. If it was me, then you're the one who got fooled, because I never, ever DM anyone out at initiate contact. I say it every freaking stream. If you're daft enough to fall for it, then mate, you're stupid. What can I say? I never ever message anyone. I never tell anyone. I'll guarantee a thing. I never say send me money and I'll make it double, triple within a certain time frame. And if you believe it, bugger off, because that's not who I am. My guys will vouch for that. If you're stupid enough to fall for it, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, but okay, it's a joke. It's not a funny one because people, you know, again, people are simple. People believe things. So, you get some idiots, really. And goodbye to you. I don't take shit like that, guys. It's just not. Just idiots. Back to YouTube. Yogesh having the same plan, sell gold at 42.44. Yep. I agree. If it pops back up, it's just in the middle crap in the minute. So there is nothing I can do about it. Which makes for a very boring stream. There is really nothing to do about it. I'm not going to force it because again, yesterday I kind of did and got wrecked. So I'm just going to stick to the plan. Chris, range is ugly. It definitely is. Shadow. Today, yeah, it's look. Let's hope that at least maybe FOMC is just going to make it rip in either direction. Get us out of this mess. To be honest, I mean, on the daily, it looks not too bad to the downside. But you could have said that since probably below that level anyway. Every time we've looked at thinking of it, I think we mentioned it a few times in the stream. Below at 33.44, want to be below there, it's likely going to melt. But I think Nev mentioned it actually. And for me, I'm weary of the fact that sometimes it's too good to be true. And it's not necessarily the case. And why I believe that in this case, it's not making that clean move down is because, again, we are structurally still in the high time frames. We're still very bullish. The overall longer term picture, in my opinion, on gold is very, very bullish. Trading wise, I can see sell opportunities though as well. But if you're talking about long term wise, where I think gold is likely ahead, I still believe it's likely going to continue bullish. Technically and fundamentally. I think there's reason to believe that it would do so. So let's see, maybe tomorrow for FOMC, it's going to clear this congestion a little bit and give us some clean ranges again, because at the minute it's just a tough one. Chris also range on a daily, low, high, high, low. Same, which, yeah, it's bloody tough ones like this. Chris, how much content education tours including VIP? Well, it's the same as the monthly package, man. It's just get it. Actually, did you get it cheaper at the moment? I can't remember. I did change the monthly price to a cheaper rate. So basically, you get all the educational material. You get the full course. You get which again I need to update. You get all the recorded educational content as well. So we had an education session yesterday. You get all those recordings. You get sim session recording, which is also pretty good. You get my journal, where I record the little video about why I took the trade and what happened. You also get the screenshots of all that, which is, I believe, really helpful. There's heaps of education content. There's stacks of it. So it is. This is shit house day, to be honest, on the charts of it. Easy, it's not a joke, but well, that's, for me, it's just stupidity. So if someone's going to be like that, I'd rather not have them on the stream. That's the deal. You come here to promote yourself. You come here to talk bullshit about me. You get the ban hammer. It's very simple. Pitchu off. Pitchu off. Check 1 hour. Sell side, 1 hour. Yeah, I see the 1 hour structure technically bullish. And to me, it's still a mess. I can see what you mean as far as rejection. It does look like it could come down, but having said that, it's just in consolidation. So I really don't see anything in regards to that time frame as well, personally. Not saying that you don't have a valid entry, but for me, the way I look at it, I personally don't see a valid entry. Cheese my bomb? No. But amongst all this, I don't see anything. Here would have been the only half decent entry back of that doji candle. Technically below the resistance, but at that interruption candle low, that would have been a pretty cracking entry by the looks of it. Easy to say after the fact, but true. Price, I think GJ in a bit of a range. Yeah, GJ is also, it's not the cleanest. The 4 hour is an absolute mess, to be honest. The 4 hour looks ugly. Not confirming his closure below, but swept the Asian session low. So this is what we mean, guys, when I often refer to it. We pop back above, there's a good chance it could continue bullish, but the issue is it's right below resistance again, so I'd rather just look for the sells. Good thing is making clean move up. I'd like to see it reject 199.60 and then potentially sell it. Got a little cluster IC, which I'm not convinced on GJ. Yeah, I mean, sell limit at that point wouldn't be all that bad. Oh God, Jesus, do something. Makes it quite boring, doesn't it? Uzi, appreciate it. Thank you for the stickers, my friend. It's not necessary, but I do appreciate it. Zul, is the Asian session now? Are you in a trade? Not in a trade now. It's technically still open, yes. But we're approaching London Open as well in just over 9 minutes. So you've got session crossover. You've had EU market open. Gold just doesn't seem to, yeah, it's doing nothing. Andrew, do you have a time limit when trading pairs? I've had a couple of trades running 1 or 2 days. To be honest, yesterday was about as long as it go for. That was a tough long trade on gold for me. Usually they're done with sometimes within less than a minute. To be honest, for most parts, within 1 15-minute candle. So I don't tend to hold for that long. For me, a good runner is between 50 and 100 pips. So I'm happy to runner up to that sort of level. Because I just look to see where we're at and I look for the next level. So for instance, if I was selling it for whatever reason, I'd say we've got this is the next level. Around at 33, 32, and that would be my general target. If it was clean, then I obviously keep running for longer. Yeah, cheers once again, Uzi, for all those stickers. Price CPI should help GJ tomorrow. Is there pound CPI tomorrow. Oh shit, there is. Yeah, hopefully that gives it a bit of a kick. Well, no, we had a look at EU just before. It's the same thing. Well, at least it's been clean move up. I'd rather sell it because you're at, to be honest, all this to me is it's accumulation, it's consolidation, it's liquidity, which often price will pull back to pick up whatever maybe some of the leftover orders in order to make, again, the move to the downside. So I definitely would not be buying into it. I would look for signs of rejection though. So look for your, your M formations, double tops, that type of thing at that level. And it's made good news is it's making clear move up, so it means it's more probable to make the move back down if it does actually reject. So that type of thing, look for a little bit of structure to form, and I would look for the sells. If I was to buy it, I'd just preference it coming back down in clear move and forming support. Because again, you're buying it, into resistance, so there is a reject at any point, and that's why we look for signs of rejection. Looking for price action catalysts and signals within price action, and potentially selling. This is the exact same shit as yesterday on gold. The exact same. And then it ripped the upside and then melted. Samantha Doom and gold is not giving you any options. Andrew, sorry, currencies? Same thing, mate. Same thing. I don't trade them, but when I was trading GJ or whatever pair it was, I've traded a few different pairs. So whatever pair it was at the time, generally speaking, it was usually within a 30-minute candle, as opposed to maybe a 15. I'm honest, what's the POA for gold from your point of view? It's shit at the minute. It's right in the middle of a range between the 15-minute and /30-minute resistance and 4-hour support. So I'm waiting for it to make a move either up to look for rejection or down, look for price to bounce off the support. I really don't see anything in between a minute. Bono, thanks. I think so. Okay, yep. You. That look. Here, DXY. Assuming it's consolidating as well. Pretty much. I mean, it's rejecting here. I don't know, man. It's tough to find a clean chart at the minute. Making a relatively clear move, but again, it's at some support. It's rejected the resistance, which I marked in previously from probably a couple of weeks back. Just adjust that across. So it seems to be a pretty strong level. Nice liquidity grab into that level I need to reject, and we've since broken a lot of it in the 4-hour. So off the back of that, I do believe this was to close, which is about to close in 4 minutes. Strong bearish, a new candle might open up, create an upper wick. In to break the lows, good chance we'll continue bearish. 15, you got a bit of support. So unless you're going to trade for higher time frame, it's also a mess. I mean, you're flipping structure bearish, so potential pullback for sells, but you've got all this mess. Clean move, so if it forms the right confirmation at support, maybe a buy, but Ben, how come don't trade futures instead of Forex? No real reason. Yeah, honestly, there's no real reason. It's just because I started with Forex, so that's the main reason. I understand the general belief is futures is less manipulated. Not sure about that though, to be honest. I remember it was last week some point or a week before, futures were at all-time highs where spot gold was nowhere near it. Not sure what that was about. I know futures, I think it's all the same chart, which people like, as opposed to brokers have different price levels and things like that, depending on which broker you're using. To be honest, have you ever considered using silver as a correlation with gold? Like pairs move? No, not to be honest, because generally gold will lead the run and then silver takes over. Yes, you are right. They generally do resemble one another, but not always. When gold was pushing for the past few years, silver was slowly pushing. In fact, the percentage difference wasn't that great a deal, to be honest, to the upside in return. But I remember about a month ago, silver was way ahead of gold as far as the move to the upside. Gold was consolidating, silver was breaking up. But prior to that, it was the opposite. So generally speaking, in a metals bull market, what tends to happen is gold leads the pack, and then you got the white metals that play catch up and overrun gold. That being silver, platinum. Made sense to move a lot more volume as well. So platinum was a few years back more expensive than gold. Look at it now, it's about, what's that, less than a third of the value of gold. So I believe platinums are, sorry, it's more than a third. What I'm talking about. $1,328. So anyway, it's nowhere near the value of gold. Yeah, but I do believe platinum's a really good play as well. Could catch up to gold again. A lot of the economists I listen to say it will eventually be roughly around the same price as gold, but then they're expecting gold to once again take off. Right, so GJ pulling back, and this is again, I'll be looking for rejection to potentially sell it for me. Now that's the IC cap. I got it wrong. Let's look at the wrong thing. That's the 15-minute IC. You know what? It's not actually that bad an entry. Stop loss back above. It's got no low wick as well, past 2 candles, so back of that, it's actually not a bad entry. Those who do trade GJ. Price taps into it. Would love that bullish candle. It's what we call the cluster IC entry. It looks like it may reject just prior to it. Oh. So it's London Open, by the way, guys. Didn't even notice it's been that uneventful. Then no slippage, it's centralized chart, it's game changer. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm honest, yeah. No, I often mention I don't even tend to look at DXY. I rather just focus on the chart of what I'm trading, which is gold. YouTube guys, what is the deal? 19 likes. Let's get that like count up. There's not many on stream. I think people tend to forget you have one lousy day. Win records, it's right on 80. It's literally 80%. Just a stream record after yesterday. 120 wins and 30 losses, 80%. So it's a pretty fair record, to be honest. So you're allowed to take a loss, guys. humble am I selling? Where? Got the candle pretty bearish, but what confirmation is there other than that? You're right in the middle of the range, consolidating. It's just shit out. It's trading for you guys. Sometimes it's extremely boring. Interesting to see if this thing actually plays out, irrespective of the fact whether I trade GJ or not, which at the minute I don't. But this is the particular entry we are working on. Oh man, it's really one of those days. TikTok. Seriously. There's another one. And paid 10 grand to the first 5 people who inboxed me. What did? Send your bank account details. Oh man. Seriously. What is this world coming to? GB Ardius, are you gonna buy? I'm not in a thing at the minute. In all honesty, guys, if I wasn't streaming, I saw these charts, all I simply do right now is set an alert for this resistance and an alert for this support. That's what I do. There goes TikTok. Got the ban. Probably better, to be honest. I'm gonna be asked with it today. What is going on? Brasty, DXY is melting. Just trying to submit my appeal for shit talk, but it's frozen. You know what probably happens? One of these assholes in a TikTok chat, because I blocked them, probably reported me or something. Oh, I'll leave those TikTok. I won't be streaming on TikTok again. Not while I'm in Thailand. Forget about. I'm not going to bother. Mention it so many times for him to jump across. So, perhaps I got banned. Some idiot probably reported me as a scam or something, and I can't. Nothing to do about it. TikTok are very sensitive. All this stuff. Yeah, they've had ample warning to jump across to YouTube, so. Good to see some of you have, you know, switched on to work out on YouTube at the same time. Welcome. Bryce, likely, yeah, that moron reported me for not taking a 10K, not sending him the message God did or whatever it was. The empty like button, yeah, very much appreciated. Shadow, TikTok's crap, too many keyboard warriors. Yeah, it is. Definitely is, but at least the chat moves. So not saying you guys are bad, but it's just not enough people on the YouTube chat to make it move. That's the thing. I mean, this is better on gold. At least we're now at resistance. I guess JJ's tapped into that level. Perhaps potentially, but this is one big candle if it wants to do that. So I prefer to trigger sells, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'd like to see rejection though. So I would preference sells if we reject this level. It's remix, yep. Good to see, finally, bit of volume. Perhaps see where, yep, let's see where the 15 closes. So right back at the resistance. So the good thing is we're at a level of interest now, either way. Perhaps breaks above the high with bullish candle. We are looking to continue a bullish trend. Yes, potentially. But again, it's a big push within this candle, so would really like to see a bit of a pause prior to it. Don't know if it's going to have the momentum enough to actually close above this level, to be honest. We'll see. Brad's got to keep an eye on DXY and see what DXY does. If that continues to go lower, we should see a nice bullish trend. You actually did mention it, didn't you, before? That's melting. Yeah, it's also low at some support. Doesn't mean it can't melt through though. What's the majors doing? Bit of a pullback. They're also at good levels. That's a good thing now. Use above the resistance. You've got this level a little bit higher up. Yeah, it's at least at some better levels now. All right, so just over 2 minutes. Let's see where this candle closes. Pull out by some 33, 37. Nice one, mate. All right, so respecting that resistance at the moment. Let's see. What sort of reaction we get. Yeah, I need a confirmation. I'm not going to just sell it because we're at resistance. Well, there's your rejection. Again, it can be frustrating, guys. Sometimes you just don't get the confirmation you're waiting for. Sometimes it reacts to levels that you're looking for price to react to and waiting confirmation from, but you're gonna have those moments where it just reacts to it, doesn't really give you the right confirmation that you normally look for. You can't manage to get involved, and it's right back into consolidation. So again, the markets will eventually start to turn where you're going to get options aplenty. It's just being patient. Wait, one thing, if this rips without a lower wick, it rips up to that blue zone again. It's very impulsive, but I reckon that's not that bad an entry because we are respecting that level. It's similar yesterday, if I can remember, though, that we actually burst through it. This was yesterday. We're not popping back down. That'd be a cheeky entry. I've not used this one much at all of late, but it's got no lower wick, guys. There is a good chance it's going to react once again to that level. It may not necessarily create a lower wick, but it might give you enough to actually get to at least 15, 20, 30 pips or whatever. It's at a level of interest, and at least this time we've got no lower wick. We know for a fact that the 90+% of these candles eventually will pull back to create the wick in the opposite direction. To the back of that, I may consider a sell if it taps into 33.40, roughly 33.40. Oh, sorry, 40. Not 40. $33.41. Yeah, I'm gonna sell. So it's 33.41.20. And have to stop just above the resistance. And that's what I'm looking at. That's just based off the fact that it'll be at a resistance. It's got no lower wick. There's, am I in? And once again, did not get triggered in. So close, the green light was on. So close, but the spread's not triggering me in just yet. Oh man, what's the odds that I'm not going to get triggered in and it's going to make the move? Kidding me? That was the idea anyway. Literally tapped in and look at a rejection. There's 16 pips. This is in the course, guys. This particular entry is in the course. It's more so aimed at the buyer level. But that would have been no drawdown. I didn't get triggered in because of spread. That was it. The green light lit up. That's happened the last training day before I went as well. It's time, I think. Anyone get triggered in? No, M5 Cry had no wick below 2. I mean, look at that. This is just one of those days. Got banned on TikTok. Had the mic on mute when I was doing the analysis. And now I don't get triggered in as a spread and you'd be well in profit without any drawdown. Them's the breaks. That's training for you. So well done if anyone did get triggered in. That's a nice, easy push for you. I'd be at break even. And for the rest of us, we're likely going to still have to wait. Make confirmation. The reality is, if it rejects now, then straight back into consolidation, there's nothing much we can do still. I'm assuming no one got triggered in. Alright, so that little last I see, you still be in it, but you're not looking great. Guys, if you could please help me out, hit that like button. There's only 21 likes. You can see, it literally taps in, but the spread, that was the only thing. Once again, them's the breaks, is what it is. Oh, got the access restored. So appeal approved, but I'm not going to bother going back on TikTok. Do better for today. Might try again tomorrow. Once again, this is in the course. This is, I think, this is the last entry out of the entry types in the entry type session. And this is based on probability that there's 90+% of these cows have wicks in either direction. So again, it's not just taking a trade off the back of that. It's also, you've got to line up with a level. So it's tapped into level of resistance we had previously rejected. So again, that's why I would consider that and why I did place the sell limit order. You'd be comfortably running more than 20 pips at the moment if you had been triggered in. Looks like it could create that lower wick. And it's just time on the charts. This is where you pick up on this sort of stuff.
Yeah, bro. I took that.
Nice one, brother. Happy to hear it.
On GC.
Good.
I liked it. It goes below that. Yeah, here it's with a delay. It looks a bit bullish, but
Yeah.
it goes below, well below on the 50-minute, and then the next one just popped up out of the bottom wick.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Since created the bottom wick.
Yeah, and if you go to the 4-hour, that you're still below, like you're at the strong support to the left, below that.
No, I'm happy someone managed to get involved.
Yeah.
Nice one.
But I just took a market entry when it came because.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't get triggered in.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah, so I just take a market entry when it's very close to the swing.
That's a really good point. That's what I should have done, to be honest. My bad on that one. But it's a habit because I'm so used to setting orders. Whether it be stop order, limit order. I just get, didn't even think about market executing that time. Because in fact, this particular entry I normally do market execute.
Yeah.
I've just not used it for so long because it hasn't been presented.
Yeah, there's been quite a few times that I'm just not triggered in, and when it runs, and then it runs.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, and I mean, logically too, you got to think that there's going to be orders stacked at that resistance as well. So may literally just tap in and reject, and if you don't get triggered in, nothing you can do about it. So I remember my first ever mentor used to always say when, and this was more swing trading at the time, don't place your order right at level. Swing trading is different because you've got a much wider stop loss. So what's the difference if you get in, let's just say here as opposed to here if you swing trade? He used to say, place it just a bit below it because you might not get triggered in. A lot of time it will pop up to that level and it won't trigger you in, and it reacts and makes the move. Or what I used to say also is more so for targets. Don't always target the actual resistance, just pick a level just a bit below it. Just in case it rejects prior to it, or I can't remember the exact terminology what he used to say, but something that always rang a bell in my mind until recently I totally forgot what he used to say. But yeah, this is swing trading. But at least you get the general idea of what the entry would have been based on.
It makes my day a bit better after the shit rate.
Yeah, I didn't like that one, to be honest, bro. I just don't like the level. And the momentum behind it. I don't think there was any momentum at all.
But it is in the middle of the range, right?
Basically. But it just looks like it. Again, this is a classic sign of when price makes a slow trickle down and then a bigger move to the opposite direction. It didn't didn't necessarily make a big push to the upside after it, but getting stuck in consolidation, I suppose the 5-minute would look pretty messy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just totally, for me, it's an avoidable level. Again, it's from trying to trade it from either resistance or support is what I preference.
Yeah, I think I have to get a bit better with like sometimes understanding where you are,
Yeah.
on the market, where you are like in the middle of the range or in a choppy.
Yeah.
I think need to get a bit better with.
Yeah, I think you are hunting. Yeah. As opposed to waiting, and it happens. Look, I did the same thing yesterday.
Yeah.
I went hunting when price is really not at a level I wanted to get involved. Because it made the move on the candle prior to it, and I try to, figure out another way in. So I think that's a mistake we all are prone to making sometimes. So, when you're unsure and it's not the cleanest, and like what I said in this circumstance, just wait for it to make a move either to that point or that point, and then look for your options.
Yeah.
Well done. It's remix, mate. The little green man lit up on my MetaTrader, but it did not trigger me in. It literally tapped right in, but unfortunately I did not get triggered in. And 0 drawdown, you've had more than 20 pips on the table, so it would have been a pretty easy, quick win. But good to see. Archer took the entry. Some who probably you need to market execute in the end, which I just totally got to do. I'm just so it's a habit to place orders for me. But the general idea was that this candle opened up without a low wick. If you were to look through the left-hand side, there's 95 plus probably percent of these candles, if not more, have wicks in either direction. It's at a level of resistance, so I'm patiently waiting. Let's just say this thing pulled up halfway in. So, for instance, we're creating the upper wick, and then it begins to flip. I would not market execute. I would not market execute or limit order, either order, limit order or market execute unless it taps in. So you have to be patient with that. And I actually did, but unfortunately just missed my order. But that's a general idea. It's not just excuse my French, but a bucket trade where you just bought and you want to take a trade. It's something that's in my course, but I use it sparingly because it doesn't present that often. It rarely presents. It happens to present today. So again, you'd be safely in profit. But again, it's a reality trading. It happened to me, was it last Friday or the Friday before? I think it was. It wasn't last Friday, it was the Friday before I came back to Thailand. You guys remember, I literally tapped into the level I marked at a limit order set and just then triggered me in. Some of you got triggered in. Majority, I don't think do. I definitely didn't. And it rocketed in the direction of the trade without any drawdown. Exact same thing here today. You'd be, again, 22 pips in profit a minute. So the idea, absolutely spot on. Level, spot on. Quickly look at GJ again. All right, so still below this resistance. There is nothing here on GJ. EA approaching the high time frame resistance now, or within the 4-hour level. All right, so what do we need to see to get involved? 10-minute bearish engulfing, and we're gonna have margin because at least we've tapped into a level now. That's the thing. 12 minutes to wait though. So, all right, guys, I'm back in 1 minute. All right. See here I'm going. So 15-minute bearish engulfing, and we can go down to the 5 and see what else we've got. We've got the 5-minute forming support at this point here. Still got just over 10 minutes till the 15-minute closure. So if we can manage to close bearish engulfing just below its 5-minute support, so the next maybe couple 5-minute candles, we have a weak bullish candle followed by that bearish candle which closes back below the 5-minute support, that would be enough. So something like this, perhaps this 5-minute candle might close like so, followed by one that closes like so, and then that will close the M15 bearish engulfing. Off the back of that, rejecting the resistance, price is to create the upward and begin to break your candles low, then that could be a potential option. I mean, you'd have to focus on the 15 because the 5-minute, you still got enough margin, but not a great deal, for about 20 pips or so. So that's what we're currently waiting on, and that to me is actually a pretty solid entry. Basically, we want to close below that line without pushing too deep towards the support, because we're at least rejecting a level that we want price to tap into.
Justin, I have to go.
Oh, good, bro.
Be on my session.
You'll be there?
Yeah, I'll be in my session.
That's fine. We'll catch you for that in a few hours. Cheers, man. Gonna say, pretty much the first time I've seen sun since I've been here last Wednesday. Been overcast every single day and rain. Jibble? No, not buying. No, this was a sell limit, which unfortunately wasn't treated in on, but obviously it would have worked. I'm looking for a sell, but I'm wanting this 15 minutes close bearish engulfing. It looks like it could make the move though. The other thing that could happen is this 5-minute close is strong, but without pushing too deep as well to the downside, and we have a little weak 5-minute pause on the next M or M5. So bullish candle, and that still closed the M15. Bearish engulfing, that could also be enough, but it's like it could just reject just now. That is to be the case. There is not much, again, I can do. It was that entry. So, again, well done if anyone did manage to get involved. For me, it's just one of those days. And a 2, 3, 4. Hello 2, did you already cover you? Yeah, I did. It's a mess. But what I did mention was the good thing is it's made a relatively clean move up to a level of liquidity. So all this accumulation to the left. So it's a good chance it's going to be sellers present. We already have reacted to that level. So what I'd be waiting for is a bit of minor support to form. Or the other thing I would be waiting for, seeing it has made a clean move up to that level, is your catalyst candles. So one single bearish engulfing candle here on the 30 would be enough. Because what you're likely going to have within that M30 bearish engulfing candle is maybe some 15-minute support or even 5-minute support. And you're likely going to be closing below it. So that's what I would now be looking for in EU. I'd be looking for rejection. And the other option is, if it does just consolidate, is simply waiting for getting a bit of support, looking for your M sort of formation, so double top, that type of thing, and price to close below the support after rejecting resistance for a potential option to sell it. I do like the fact that it's made a clean move up though. To me, it makes it more probable that if it does reject, to make a clean move back down. That's my personal opinion. And that 5 close. All right, so to close back weak bullish, so we want a strong 5-minute closure here. Doesn't have to engulf that bullish candle. As long as we close relatively strong, close to 15, wouldn't want to create a lower low. I want it to close near its low. If that was the case, then it could be sell options on the next M15. Discipline's key, took sells caught 10 pips on Goldie. Yeah, man, I had to sell limit order. And it there. And it melted. But it didn't trigger me in. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But nah, well done. It's remix, you're still going to take a trade. Yeah, in the next potentially 3 and a bit minutes, if this closes below this horizontal, closes bearish engulfing, I could have a valid entry. And all good. This makes key, close below 5-minute support on futures and have. Oh, nice one. Not sure exactly where, but nonetheless, well done. Happy to hear it. Cheers, by the way. Was in what, your name or the charts? This is key, my chart looks different. Yeah, that's strange. Especially if it's futures. It's really strange. On Project X? No, I don't doubt you, mate. Oh, from TikTok. Nice one. Well, maybe I can give it another go tomorrow. The appeal was approved. So I can give it another crack. deal with the trolls yet again on TikTok. Alright, gold popping back up. Doesn't look like it wants to give us that signal. Remember, the 15 is technically bullish. The way I see it, with bullish structure on the minor time frame here, just not the best level to be buying it at. You got resistance. Obviously, we've rejected it twice now. It looks like that was the move, guys. Should have stayed in the gym longer today. I'll tell you one thing. It's nothing worse than being in a hot, sweaty gym and someone you're talking to smells of garlic. Oh man, that was horrible. Garlic's obviously used in a lot of food here. Pretty much everything. Very strong garlic too. Garlic and chili. Nice guy. But God, wow, the smell. Oh, it's horrible. I had to move far away. Couldn't work out. It was just too much. Alright, so it's not playing ball. Gold's not closing where I want it to close. Nothing we can do. Very delicious. How's gold? Hey man, are you bearish? How's yeah, as long as it reflects resistance. So I did call a sell limit from literally that level. But unfortunately, I didn't get triggered in. It didn't trigger by obviously spread. Yeah, so I'd still be bearish below it, but it's very choppy still. We're just overall in a very, very ugly area. Looking at the hourly as well. Even at 15 and 30, it's still pretty much just consolidate. 15-minute low is technically bullish in structure, so if it starts to pop above 33.44, then I reckon we will head up. Got some resistance though to the left, but there's a good chance if it does pop above this level, taps into all that, rejects, if it forms support above the previous resistance, and I do believe again, there's a good chance it'll create another high and continue to trend bullish. But yes, otherwise I would be more bearish. How's time life? All good, mate. All good. Very humid at the moment. Extremely humid. Alright, what else can we... Alright, not much. 30's ugly. So is the 1 hour. This is pretty rank, guys. But we could stick around and see how this 15 closes, and if it closes basically near the low, that would be the last option. Discipline is key. It's not named after me, discipline milk. Why is enormous amount of discipline? You're not wrong, my friend. Let's see. It's trying to reject it again, so maybe, just maybe, I have an option. It's gonna look rank though on the higher time frames. The 30 minutes, pretty choppy. 1 hour is blue. That's disgusting. It's literally in consolidation. 4 hours, a lot of cleanest as well. You'll know what the daily and weekly look like, I guess. Okay, so we're waiting just under 10 minutes to see where this candle closes. If we close near low of that previous bullish candle, then we could have an option for a sell. So we have rejected the resistance. We did actually sweep the high of the day, the Asian session highs, and we're now back below it. The back of that, I believe if we do close strong bearish here, that there'd be a high probability it will at least come back down to the next level of support. That would then suffice for a potential sell option. We just need to wait 9 minutes, and if it doesn't close strong, then I'm just going to call it if that's the case.
Hey man,
What's going on, man?
I will step out right now.
No worries.
There's really nothing for me right now. Will you do an invite session?
Yeah, I'll be on later.
Okay. So in 3 hours, 3 hours more or less. Huh?
You pretty much an hour before the open. Pretty much.
Okay.
Same as pretty much like normal. So,
Okay, mate. See you later then.
not a problem, brother.
Okay, bye.
See you, mate. Smokes here. Thank you. I'm actually really lean. Really lean. I'm only 65 kilo or something. Really lean. Like there's dudes at the gym with my height and that, and they're 80. The guy I was speaking to today is this older guy there. He's literally my height. We're not blessed, put it this way. But he weighs like 85 kilos, and size-wise, not much difference. But I'm just very lean, which is what I like. I feel better. I've been a lot heavier. Not a lot. I think the heaviest I've been, and it's not none of it's. I mean, it's from just muscle mass. It was about 70 kilo, but I feel a lot better at around 64, 65 kg mark.
You definitely put me to shame then, Justin.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Just a little tacker, mate.
I'm about 2.5 of you.
But it's it's my family. It's the genetics. Where you either get my mum's genes, which is what I've got, or get my old man's genes, which is what my brother and sisters have got. So they're bigger naturally. Height, stomach. Actually, not height. When talking about sisters, shrimp. But my oldest brother's a bit taller. And then you got me and my middle brother. We're both very lean. He's ridiculously lean. He weighs nothing. Skin and bone, literally.
Oh, he must be the right of the family then.
Pretty much, yeah. And then you got myself, who I just love it. I love, I've been since I'm like 16, 17. I've been going to gyms.
Yeah. Look, even when I was going to the gym, mate, my weight was around 100, 110s.
Yeah.
That was with muscle, and I was like, that was the lowest I've ever been, I reckon.
Yeah.
But then you just get old.
Yeah.
Lazy.
Can't be bothered. Yeah. No, look, I pull through. I always have that, sort of feeling like I couldn't be bothered. And I take sometimes like a week off or something, but then I get motivated again. I've never missed more than a couple of weeks, to be honest.
I must admit though, like I've just gone, last couple of weeks I've gone pure, like as much protein rather than like get rid of most of the carbs out of my diet.
Yeah.
And I've lost like 6 kilos just in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Also, what you drink and that.
Yeah, I've never been a really big alcohol drinker except when I was in my teens, and that was mainly weekends. But I've never been a drinker during the week.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's most of it's just water or actually these days the soft drink kind with no sugar, which is just as bad for you. So
Probably. Yeah, I stick to the water. Coffee or two, and protein.
Gold has been tricky, eh?
It does.
I took a buy on that 15 with the double bottom.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Nice one.
But I got tapped on the way home. It was going okay too. I got tapped on that bloody that wick there, the doji wick. I was trying to stop up just to cut myself, and it just tipped me out. It's like, he's like,
this can be me.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, it'd be great if it does just continue up and breaks the because it does need to get out of this bloody little bit of a
Right,
rut that it's in.
lovely if it did.
I don't care if it goes down or goes up. It just needs to get out of this base that it's in.
Exactly.
It's like the weeklies, or sorry, the dailies, where we're
Yeah,
just trapped in these zones.
Up and down,
Yeah,
no momentum at all.
yeah. But I think a lot of that's got to do with the talks that are going on with Trump and Vladimir and bloody Putin.
Yeah,
So I think a lot of this is just reactions to not knowing anything.
yeah, it could be waiting for some clear direction on all that.
Yeah. Well, even the big news that we've had like in the last couple of weeks, it's pushed it up and then it's pushed it down, but it hasn't really gone anywhere.
It just ends up straight back. It's like a magnet right in the middle of the high time frame range.
Yeah.
Just gets
I mean,
pulled
there's
straight back.
definitely some risky plays within here, but and that's what
Yeah. Well, the one I called would have been a cracking entry in the end, but again, it is risky.
And you know what? That actually just touched.
It did touch the area.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
the
didn't
perfect candle that I look for because it's the candle where it just goes above Asia high and then comes back in and leaves a wick.
Yeah.
You go, but it's not quite the candle that I'm looking for because obviously you want it to be red if you're coming from the top with the wick, and then you know that you might have some action towards the bottom of the range.
At the moment, still struggling.
Yeah.
I want it below, well, close to the low of this candle. To me, it's just a mess at the minute.
You know what? And it's also the timing of the season as well. Like we've probably got the last couple of weeks before traders go back in the UK, so they're probably just living it up.
Probably. Quiet and boring.
Summer in the US, summer in the UK.
Yeah.
Once they all come back from their holidays, then action usually starts, and it usually starts around September. So
Yeah, it would be nice. Hopefully it happens.
It moves around this time, but it just doesn't move as nicely once the traders are back all in their desk or on their desk, should I say.
Yeah, well, wait and see. FOMC will hopefully shake it about a bit as well.
I think so. I think that's the other reason why it hasn't got too much volume at the moment.
Yeah.
People are just waiting to see what's happening.
Yeah, it's been no news about since prior to it, so.
Yeah, but there's so much indecision when you look at all the fundamental analysis, right? You've got ups and downs all over the place as far as whether
Still got tariffs.
Yeah,
China is still waiting on a decision with that.
Exactly. Yeah, the tariffs have really screwed things up. I think I was listening to something the other day where it said that our analysts was talking about, at some point in time, you'll probably have them talking about excluding tariffs from their equations because it just doesn't make sense to have it in there.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just it has screwed things up, I must admit.
Yeah.
But there's so much retail, like there's retail information that really people are looking to see if it's really affecting retail prices or inflation. It may do, but it's not really reflecting in the numbers at the moment.
Yeah, I think the PPI, it's having a bit of an impact. CPI should be CPI bullshit anyway. It's no way it's a couple percent or whatever it is, 4% or 3%, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
It's most leading and decent economists would know it's above the 10%. I'm not sure if you heard about that lady who kept like a bill from, it was in America from Walmart from during the pandemic or just before it, something like that.
Oh yeah, inflation's gone huge from pandemic to now.
But I mean, I think this is just before it, and her bill was like $40-something.
Yeah.
She found the bill. She did the exact same, bought the exact same products.
Yeah.
It was like $130, $140 for the exact same things.
Well, we're at 16 and 18% for like 3 or 4 years, 5 years or 4 years, something like that. Like
And just where does it stop? That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's come down now, but those years, and that's why like housing prices in Australia just went through the roof because of that fact of
Yep.
inflation. It's just because the cost of housing, cost of materials to build a house, all that just pushed housing prices through the absolute roof. And we're all still paying for that. We'll pay for that for a long time now. That's for sure.
It's a lot more tricky for me to own anything in Oz as opposed to here.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, you can go over to Thailand or Indonesia, still pick up a house for 150k, like
Yeah.
cost-wise.
Yeah.
Whereas in Australia, it's costing you 400,000 easy.
Oh, well, that's, I don't know about Adelaide, but Melbourne, there's no chance.
No. What I mean is raw costs, not
raw cost. Yeah, sorry.
Raw cost of building a house.
Yep.
Is around 400,000 now. It used to be like 100,000, like back in the 2000s. About mid 2000s, it used to be about 200k. Now, for a decent house, you're looking at bloody 300,000 to 400,000 just in material costs and labour.
It's a massive difference, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And then you add on the land costs, and I think there's a bit of people taking advantage there as well. Bloody markets. But yeah, you're right. The cost of everything's just absolutely gone ridiculously high.
Yeah,
and it's
the same everywhere.
It's just over those 4 years where we had this stupid inflation that really shouldn't have existed in the first place. You've got companies that have taken advantage of that, and there's no way they're going to reduce their cost. Once it goes up, it don't come down unless competition comes into the market.
The thing is, cost of labour slowly goes up. It doesn't keep up with the inflation figures and that, but
in Australia, and that's another thing that's really affected the cost, is the fact that superannuation's gone up.
Yeah.
That's additional cost to companies.
Yep.
But
Super's a bit of a joke.
I still think they're a hell of a lot lower. Their costs would be a hell of a lot lower than what their prices are, because they've just taken advantage of the inflation impact.
Yeah. They can, anything they can use as an excuse. They won't.
Well, when there's no competition, like you've got basically Woolworths, Coles, maybe an IGA.
Oh, even you're talking about energy companies out too.
Yeah, well, energy companies are
the biggest shit take. But they all take advantage.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. But I think there's a hell of a lot of rewarding that's going on, that's for sure. That's kept prices high as well.
Yeah, 100%. There is banks, another thing as well.
Yeah,
completely with everything.
I wish I had $1 million worth of gold back in 2000, because it's worth a fucking shitload of money now.
Yeah, mate, I wish I had just give me 100 ounces of gold from back then. Yeah, he's still looking pretty good if you had that.
Oh, definitely. Same thing with Bitcoin. I wish I had all my Bitcoin when I was younger.
Oh, mate, me too.
Hundreds of it.
Me too. I mean, I remember having a quarter of Bitcoin when I was around that 3 to 6k mark.
I was out by then.
Yeah, so I was a bit later, but still.
I brought like I don't know, over 100 Bitcoin at one stage, and they were like $50 each or something, or $60 each. Might have been even less. And when it hit $1,000, I thought, you use the application this in.
Yeah, of course. But that's what most good investors would do. You're always told, don't be too greedy.
Yeah, and then it went to 20,000.
And then went to over 100k. So.
Oh, it came down to 1,000 before after the drop from 20.
Yeah, so that's the thing. How do you get to know? Especially when that was an all-time high.
I took my cash and went and bought a house, so I was all good with my 100,000.
Yeah, and back then, government wouldn't have even known about Bitcoin until it's taxing on it. So, not like now. Yeah, that's it.
Can you wipe this YouTube clip down, please?
Yeah. Just edit this part of the stream. Cut it out.
Anyway, that's the beauty about the world, isn't it? Like, there's things that keep moving things up. Like, you know, you get good at trading and you can make a hell of a decent living off of just movements in price.
Oh, that's it.
And if you don't, well, you can make a hell of a lot of a loss from just going to your local shop.
Yeah.
Bloody inflation.
No, and we all put up with it.
Oh, we do, and you kind of have to unless you have a decent amount of property that you can work with and grow your own fruit and become a hermit or something.
Self-sufficient. Yeah. Mind you, almost got that here.
Yeah.
Whenever they go to cook dinner, straight to the garden. So whatever herbs and...
Yeah. So it's a lot better. It's a lot different lifestyle over there in Thailand, that's for sure.
But we're still...
I haven't been there yet, so it's one of the places I've got to get to.
I mean, you're probably picturing a rural, in the middle of nowhere village, but that's not where we are. We're in one of the major cities.
Yeah.
But we've got their own dwelling, so we've got the garden, we've got...
Yeah, but you have a lot of markets. Like, wherever you are in Asia, there's always markets, live fruit, you know.
Oh, mate, yeah, they're everywhere. Every single day, they're everywhere.
Live animals.
Yeah, everything.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all fresh. It's right in your face.
Yeah.
Whereas in Australia, it's like, well...
No, it's only certain days or whatever, and if you want to market or whatever, anything like that. Otherwise, you're stuck with bloody butchers are still okay, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
Coles and Woolworths.
I'm just jealous of you, mate, over in the heat, that's for sure. Not much going on.
Yeah, it's been humid. Actually, it's been really humid the last few days. One of the ones where you step outside and you got the sweaty knackers and straight away. But
playing off this rainbow.
Yeah, coming down again. Cheese missed the sell. There was the confirmation, so I mean, I was waiting for the closure below. We still might get it here. It's starting to get pretty late. I want it to happen soon because I've got to go pick up the little one in about 20 minutes or so from now.
Yeah.
So I suppose we can stick around for this 5-minute candle. Just one sec, guys. Alright. Just watch this. It's going to make a move. So again, confirmation is the closure below, but how it's making the actual move itself. Not much again I can do. That was the play, guys. Needed to market execute though, as opposed to limit order. I think we're gonna have the margin now, as the can't continue to drop. Yeah, eventually this is going to be definitely the permanent home.
Nice. Yeah, look, I think I'll probably be over that way once I retire in another 12, 15 years.
Yeah, it's just
somewhere that way anyway. Won't be Australia.
It's just a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, well, so like, I went to South Korea last year and give them a little bounce. Went to South Korea last year and really enjoyed living over in that area.
Yeah.
And I guess Japan's just as good.
It'd be very similar, probably.
And the house prices over in Japan are supposed to be ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, very cheap because they've got a lot of empty houses.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be like the thing is learning language.
Yeah.
There's a lot of most of even when I went to Korea, a lot of English speaking Koreans as well.
Yeah, it's the same here. A lot of them can speak enough to at least you can communicate between your broken Thai and broken English.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, they're a lot more pleasant and relaxed than people back at home.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's what I found with Korea too, because it's because the etiquette
Yeah.
of Korea and Japan and
All those
most
places.
countries, it's about respect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find that it's the immigrants that live in those countries are the problem people.
Yeah, well, there's not that many. You come to Thailand, there's not, especially in this part of Thailand. It's us Westerners who are a partner or whatever. That's all there is.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of expats over there as well.
Yeah. Oh, there's a few Aussie bars and that in this city.
Yeah.
Not that I frequent them, to be honest. Usually go see a mate who a French guy who owns a bar. Very different to normal French. But to be honest, I haven't been out. I've been out one night since I've been back. That was it. I've only had 2 nights of drinking. Still trying to be a good boy. But
that's the other thing. When you're over in those most of the Asian countries, drinking alcohol is pretty cheap.
It's just a very common thing, even for the locals. All right, let's see on gold, because we're. I was going to say, if it doesn't drop, we've got still 20 odd pips, but there's no margin. There is no margin, really. So you got 17 pips once you count for spread. The stop loss is way too wide. You need an upper wick. It needs to be a decent one, and then you could potentially sell it below low. Because stop loss, it's just not going to be worth it. You got to logically have a look at it. You got 40. Once you count for spread, 44 pip stop. Once you count for spread, 17 pip target. That's just not worth it. Perhaps market execute self, it pops up, create decent upper wick, because this is a strong rejection. So that's something I would consider. I want it to pop up.
Yeah, would you consider the support zone on the 5 minute
As a potential level to pull back to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad level. That's only 7 pip upper wick. I just want to pop straight up. I don't want to start flipping. You know, it's gone now. It's broken away.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Because normally in this situation, if it pull, I say, right, it has not broken much. If it pulls back, creates a bit of an up wick, and sell it to break slow again.
Yeah.
But you don't have any margin now. Literally, there's nothing. It's just pushed a couple of pips. Yeah. That's it, guys. No entry. Tis what it is.
Yeah, it's tricky.
But I'll be back with you guys if you're around in a couple of hours.
Yeah, I'll attempt to
all good.
A bit later.
No worries. So there we go. But otherwise, guys, appreciate the support. I will give TikTok one more crack tomorrow. Bill was approved. But yeah, otherwise, guys, trade safe. Gold is still tricky. Still trading below its resistance. So like I mentioned before, if that's the case, I wouldn't be buying it unless really. Well, look, if it popped back down to this support again, not the worst option if you get the right confirmation to do so. I wouldn't be selling it below it, and I'd consider buying some lower down. Otherwise, sells from back at resistance again. And that is the gold. That's all I consider. We'll see how we go tomorrow. And thank you once again for the support. Until then, have a good one. See you later, perhaps, Nev.
Yes, yep. Catch you later.
Cheers, guys. Take care.